Good afternoon. I'll call the Mandan School Board meeting to order. Today is July 15th, 2024, and we're in the Bosch Freilich room of Mandan City Hall. Let's rise and say the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, I'd like to welcome our newly installed our newly installed board members: Rick Horn for a 3-year term, Amy Shannondor for a 3-year term, Sheldon Wolf for a 3-year term, and Jake Schmidt for a 1-year term. All members have taken the oath of office and are seated now on the board. And at this time, I will accept nominations for board chairperson.
I'll move to appoint Sheldon Wolf as board chair.
Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded. A motion by Peter, seconded by Peel. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Right. Mr. Legacy, we call roll.
Burris?
Yes.
Hubestall?
Yes.
Horn?
Yes.
Shannondor?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Peters?
Yes.
Teal?
Yes.
Wolf?
Yes. All right, I guess I'll take over now, right? Thanks, everybody, for your vote of confidence again for another year. I greatly appreciate it. Welcome to our new members to the board. Look forward to working with you all and the rest of the board, too. Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Bitts, Mr. Legacy, Mr. Garley. We'll start off that way again this year. All right, we'll accept nominations for board vice president. Any nominations?
I'll nominate Rick Horn.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second.
I'll second that.
All right, a motion and a second. Any other nominations for vice president? Any other nominations for vice president? Seeing none, Mr. Legacy, please call roll.
Burris?
Yes.
Horn?
Yes.
Teal?
Yes.
Shannondor?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Hubestall?
Yes.
Peters?
Yes.
Wolf?
Yes. Next item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Is there any changes or things to the agenda? Seeing none from administration. Anybody else have any changes? Seeing none, what are the wishes of the board?
I'd move to approve the agenda.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
And we have a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Mr. Legacy, please call roll.
Burris?
Yes.
Hubestall?
Yes.
Peters?
Yes.
Shannondor?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
Horn?
Yes.
Teal?
Yes.
Wolf?
Yes. Next item is public communications. Anybody in the audience like to approach and discuss anything with the board? Seeing and hearing none, we'll move on to the next item, which is the administrator's report. The first item on the administrator's report is the proposed school board member committee assignments for 2024. Dr. Bitts.
Correct, and I believe it's on page 3 of your packet. And I took the liberty, and I maybe overstepped my bounds, but I kept everybody in the same committee they were, and I plugged Amy and Jake into a couple of committees, and I also put Jake on the Heart River CTE board. And again, these are what we always do is these aren't final. They're supposed to let our board chair know or myself know if they don't like the assignment or if they'd like to serve in another area. And this will be finalized in August.
All right, so like Dr. Bitts said, if take a look at it, and if you don't like the committee you're on, you want to change committees, let us know, and we'll reshuffle them before the next meeting. Okay. If you got questions on what the committees do, take a look at those in relation to it and have a conversation with Dr. Bitts or myself. We can kind of tell you what the committees also do if you kind of wondering in relation to that too. All right. All right, we'll move on. The North Dakota School Board Association Annual Convention. And I think I'm going to throw all three of these together, Dr. Bitts. The North Dakota Indian Education Summit in July and the DPI School Board Member Boot Camp in August. Dr. Bitts?
Correct. These are all 3 professional development opportunities that are available to you. They're all voluntary except for Our two new board members, Amy Shavendor and Jake Schmidt, are required by law to attend October 24th in Bismarck, the new board member seminar. The rest of them, you can see the dates. If you'd like to attend, let me know and we'll get you registered. Certainly encourage you to attend if you're able and interested.
All right. Okay. Please let them know if you're going to be able to attend those, and if not, so they can get you registered. Is there a early cutoff date on those or not on the annual convention?
I haven't even seen it yet. I don't think they're even out with an agenda yet, so it's early. I just wanted to get that date on people's calendar.
Appreciate that. All right, let's move on then to the consent agenda. The only item on the consent agenda is review and consider approval of previous board minutes. What are the wishes of the committee?
I'll move to approve the board minutes.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Oh,
And we have a second. Mr. Legacy, please call roll.
Ford,
yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Keel,
Yes.
Shenandoah,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Hubestall,
Yes.
Burris,
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes. Next item is unfinished business. We have no unfinished business, so we'll move right into new business. The first item there is consider designating the Mandan News as the official newspaper of the Mandan Public School District. Ms. Ritterath.
Yeah, we're required by law to publish our minutes, and it's been our tradition that Mandan News is our official newspaper to do so. We would recommend that you approve this.
All right. Any further discussion on that one, or what are the wishes?
Designate the Mandan News for our official newspaper.
We have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, please call roll.
Burris,
Yes.
Hubestall,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Shenandoah, Schmidt,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Keel,
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes. It's almost like you got to retrain me. All right. The next item is consider appointing Ryan Legacy as the district business manager. Dr. Ritterath, we'll get to it right yet today.
We encourage you to appoint Ryan Legacy as the district business manager for the next school year.
All right. What are the wishes of the board?
I would move that we appoint Ryan Legacy as our business manager.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussions? Seeing, hearing, and hearing none, please call roll.
Burris,
Yes.
Hubestall,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Shenandoah,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Keel,
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes. And as new board members, you realize this is the meeting where we just do a lot of motions to get things done. So, if you got questions on any of this stuff, please ask, though. I mean, it's a way to learn some of the things as we talk about it. So, considering authorize the business manager and the superintendent to invest school district funds. Mr. Legacy?
Yeah, this will just allow us to invest funds. We have a main operating account at Starium Bank, and then we do invest funds in a few different local institutions. We'd like to be able to keep that with myself and Dr. Bitts. Then we don't have to come to the board to open up a CD at a local bank if they offer a better rate. Yeah, and all of our deposits have to be fully insured or pledged or in a separate, what they call an ICS account. So we do make sure that all of our deposits meet those needs.
Yep. And in fact, if you look at item G, we'll handle that actually even as another item here as we go through it on the securities that are pledged to us. All right. What's the wishes of the board?
I would make a motion to authorize the business manager and the superintendent to invest school district funds. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, please call roll.
Hubestall,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Keel,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Burris,
Yes.
Shenandoah, Wolf.
Yes. Consider approval of building principles, the authorized representative of the Mandan Public School District for the school immunization law. Dr. Ritterath.
Yeah, we recommend that we continue moving forward with this. They have the closest relationships with our family and school nurses to get the documentation needed on this front.
All right. Any questions? If not, what are the wishes of the board?
I'll move to, for the building principals to authorize representatives for the school immunization law.
All right. Do we have a second? We have a second. Any further discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, please call roll.
Yes.
Yes.
Deal.
Yes.
Shandor. Schmidt.
Yes.
Hubestall.
Yes.
Burris.
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes. Next item, review or consider designating Dr. Bitts and Dr. Rederath as authorized representatives for all state and federal funds. Dr. Rederath.
Yeah, and these would be things like last meeting when I talked a little bit about our consolidated application and our federal Title I money, our professional development money, the different monies that we get from the state, that Dr. Bitsk and I could continue to coordinate those things within our budget and with the various entities.
Any discussion? Seeing none, what is the wishes of the board?
I would make the motion to designate Dr. Bitts and Dr. Rederath as authorized representatives for all state and federal funds programs.
We have a motion, we have a second?
Second.
And we have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, please call roll.
Burris.
Yes.
Hubestall.
Yes.
Deal.
Yes.
Shandor.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Horn. Yes. Peters.
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes. Next item, consider designating the following individual as supervisors of program. Title I, Carly Rederath, Dr. Rederath. Title II, Part A, Dr. Rederath. Title IX, Dr. Bitts. English Learners, Dr. Bitts. Homeless Liaison, Kat Dahl. Foster Care Liaison, Troy Lee Lanagard. Title VI, Indian Education Grant, Travis Albers. Assessment Coordinator, Perry Just. Child Nutrition Director, Becky Heinert. Dr. Rederath.
Yeah, and just a little bit of information on each of those. Like I said, Title I is for our schools that are in poverty and the additional assistance we get there. Title IIA is professional development. Title IX is anti-harassment. English language learners. Our homeless liaison, Kat Dahl, works with various agencies when we have families that are designated as homeless and getting them to school and working out transportation. Same thing with our foster care liaison, Troy Langru really works with local social services to coordinate services and make sure we don't disrupt students' days. And then Travis Albers, our Title VI coordinator, works with, that's the funding we get for every Native American student we have identified in our district to be able to do some increased programming there. And then the assessment coordinator and child nutrition are more self-explanatory. So if there's any questions about those positions, I'd be happy to answer them. If not, we would recommend all of them be appointed.
Any questions? Hearing and seeing none, what's the wishes of the board?
I would move that we designate the listed individuals for supervisors of those programs.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, please call a roll.
Hubestall.
Yes.
Horn. Yes. Deal.
Yes.
Shandor.
Yes.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Burris.
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes. Next item, review and consider approval of securities pledged by local bank to guarantee school district investments. Mr. Legacy.
Yes, included in your packet is our pledge of securities. This is not all of our funds for the district. These are just the funds that have pledges associated with them. Starion, BNC, Capital Credit, and Dakota Community do meet the requirements. The rest of our funds, our main operating and savings account at Starion and our construction account at Starion, are held in a different type of fund that do not need pledges. So I would recommend approval.
All right. Any questions for Mr. Legacy? Not hearing or seeing any, what are the wishes of the board?
I'd make the motion to approve the securities pledged by local banks.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? One last time. Seeing and hearing none, please call roll.
Burris.
Yes.
Hubestall.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Deal.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
Horn. Yes. Shandor.
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes. Next item, review and consider approval of school board meeting dates for October 24th and 25th. Dr. Bitts.
Yeah, in your packet, page 8, I took the liberty of just moving the calendar forward a year. It will be one meeting in July, 2 in August, 1 in December, 1 in January, and 1 in June. 2 meetings all the other months. Basically mirrors the schedule. You can change it or you can approve it as presented.
And Just for new members' information here, you'll see some of these where we go into Tuesday. Monday is a holiday in relation to that, and the reason we go to a Tuesday at 7 o'clock is because there's another meeting in here, so we got to work around the city schedule in regard to it. That's why they go through here. And then on the June one there, we're at 4 o'clock. We're going before them for that one, so if that works out for everybody. And this is what we'll go with, but we can always change it. We can have special meetings. I mean, this is a flexible thing, but this is kind of where we go with this process in relation to it. Dr. Bitts, anything else you want to add to that?
No, I think we just try to put a schedule out so that Dakota Media Access can schedule us in the room and have somebody here to help us broadcast.
And then the last thing you'll notice there, if you notice, on Monday, August 19th, we do have a retreat after that, and we do meet usually and have further discussions. If there's anything you want to bring to the board's attention or all the different subcommittees we have, we usually talk about it there and we lay them into that. So just kind of give you an idea for your own planning in regard to that. It's a longer meeting on that one. Okay. All right. What are the wishes of the board?
I'll move to approve this schedule as in our packet.
All right. Do we have a second? We have a motion, a second. Any further discussions?
I would just like to comment. The 7 o'clock ones, I would like to entertain 4 o'clock instead of 7, but that's just my 2 cents. Thank you.
Everybody else's thoughts?
My thoughts would be I'd like the 7 o'clock start time for work purposes.
Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, please call roll.
Horn.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Peel. Yes. Shannondorf. Yes. Schmidt.
Yes.
Huvestal.
Yes.
Furris. Yes. Wolf.
Yes. Next item on the agenda, review and consider approval of 24-25 substitute teacher pay.
Correct.
Dr. Burns.
We annually set our substitute teacher pay. We are proposing $140 per day. This is the same rate as last year. We usually get together with Bismarck and set the same rate. We've done that for a number of years. When we haven't had the same rate, what happens is people accept the job and then turn it down, so it's best if we have the same rate. And it would be our recommendation that we set that rate at $140 for this year.
All right. Go ahead.
Dr. Bitts, I'm curious about why both school districts decided not to raise it this year, because when was the last time we raised it, and kind of what's it look like in other metros? And
Actually, I think we're quite a bit higher than like the Fargo Metro. I think during COVID we were about 105, and we've done some pretty nice increases to get it to 140, and we just raised it last year, and the conversation was that let's try keeping it the same.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any further questions? Hearing and seeing none, what's the wishes of the board?
I would move to approve the substitute pay.
All right, we have a motion. We have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, please call roll.
Furris. Yes. Huvestal.
Yes.
Horn.
Yes.
Shannondorf. Yes. Schmidt.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Peel.
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes. Next item, review and consider approval of 24-25 activity fees and ticket prices. Dr. Bitts.
Correct, and those are on the same page at the bottom of that page. You can see that we're looking to charge $7 for adults, $5 for students, and $5 for senior citizens to attend our athletic events. Ideally, we wanted the entire West region to have the same rates. This is what Bismarck is doing as well, but there are a few schools that went to 8, and we are not recommending that. We're recommending we stay at 7 and 5.
All right. Any questions for Dr. Bitts?
I have a question. Has it ever been talked about, like, family season passes to bring more families to games for support?
We have not had that conversation, but we certainly could do something along those lines.
Any other questions? Maybe that's one thing we add to one of the subcommittees and have a conversation with.
Yeah, we can do
How's
that.
sound?
And I wonder, yeah, you're right, because the season passes are not for kids. Yeah. So, yeah.
Any other questions? All right, what are the wishes of the board?
I'd move to approve the athletic admission prices for 2024-25 school year.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Any further discussion? Please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Moving on, the next item is review and consider approval of 24-25 school facilities rental fees. Dr. Bitts.
Correct. And you can see on this page, we have the facility and the recommended rate. The Mandan High School auditorium, I don't know that we're going to rent that out a whole lot this year because it's probably not going to be ready till Christmas time. But we will again try to make we're public facilities. We like to make them available to our public whenever we can.
Dr. Bitts, could you talk about just a little bit about the culinary kitchen in the commons area and how that's changed with the new school?
Correct.
So everybody has an idea what those are.
Correct. That's a new area. The MHS Commons is a new area that we can rent out to groups if they want to. We figured that the culinary kitchen, and that basically covers our custodian expenses to have them clean up afterward. I think it was $100 is what we're proposing. So
And that's that one right off when
it's
you come in the front
right
door,
off
right?
the Commons in the high school. When you walk in, it'll be right on the left side. It has a commercial kitchen in it. So if a group wants to come in and do some cooking and use it, that would be the cost. We expect them to clean up after themselves, but we still have to have our custodial team to come in and clean up after them.
Okay. Any further questions? What are the wishes of the board?
I would move to approve the school facilities rental fees.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second,
Second.
and we got 2 seconds. Any further discussions? Any further discussions? Please call roll.
Huvestal?
Yes.
Horn?
Yes.
Keel? Yes. Shannondorf? Yes. Schmidt?
Yes.
Peters?
Yes.
Burris?
Yes.
Wolf?
Yes. Next item on the agenda, review and consider approval of 24-25 child nutrition meal prices. Dr. Bitts.
Correct. And on page 11 in your packet is our current rate, our proposed rate, and the amount of increase. We are looking to raise hot lunch prices again today. Our food costs have soared. Our labor costs have increased. It's getting tough. We did operate at a deficit this year. Our child nutrition program does not use any tax dollars. It is self-supporting. We don't use general fund dollars to bail them out. We have to if they don't have enough money, but we try to have them be self-sufficient so we don't have to do that. One question we get is why do adults pay more than kids when they get the same amount when they go through the line? And the reason for that is because there's commodities in the food, and the USDA reimburses us for those commodities and gives us a portion of the meal for students. They will not do that for adults. So our recommendation is basically a 15-cent increase in breakfast, a 15% increase in lunch, and then a 10-cent increase in milk. And that's just to reflect our costs.
All right. Any questions, comments? Go ahead.
I mean, I trust your math, but those are pretty minimal increases. So does it reflect the cost?
It does not. Truly, we go ahead, Ryan.
We're going to have a significant deficit this year. There's no way we can take this all on in one chunk. We're going to have to come back. I don't think any of us were prepared to come off of fully free lunches for all of our students and then the increase in cost. I just don't think we were fully prepared for that. As we close out the books, we're going to have six-figure deficit in hot lunch, which we were operating at surplus for a number of years. We're okay, but we're going to have to monitor this pretty close over the next year or two.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Good question.
I guess I'll just say it was a balancing act. We talked about, do we go up a quarter? Do we go up 20 cents? And we settled on 15. We want to be, it's expensive to have a family, and we want to be reasonable to our parents as well.
And on the flip side of it is you get too high and then people can't pay and it ends up bad debt and you're not getting anything. So it comes a balancing act. All right, what are the wishes of the board?
Move to approve the child nutrition prices.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, please call roll.
Burris,
Yes.
Huvestal,
Yes.
Horn,
Yes.
Keel,
Yes.
Shannondor,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Schmidt,
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes. Next item, review and consider approval of the following resignations and request to have liquidated damage waived for breaking a signed contract. Mike Ullman, 5th grade at Lakewood. Sarah Bitts, 5th grade at Lewis and Clark. Dr. Bitts.
And it would be our recommendation that you handle these as a separate motion. Mike Ullman is a 5th grade teacher at Lakewood. He has taken a job outside of education. He has submitted a letter of resignation and requested that we waive liquidated damages. Mr. Peters is chairman of the Policy and Personnel Committee. Chelsea Bittner is a representative of MEA, and I are on that committee. We've talked about it, and since he's leaving education, our recommendation is to waive liquidated damages and not charge him a fine. Accept his resignation, yes. And thank him for his service.
Okay. So we want to handle these separately because I'm assuming liquidated damage is going to be the difference between the two.
Yes.
Could I get a motion for that, whatever your wishes are in regard to Mike Ullman?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. You go. I will move to approve Mike Allman's resignation along with waived liquidating damages and thank him for his service to Mandan Public Schools.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? And we have a second. Any further discussion? Please call roll.
Horn,
Yes.
Peters,
Yes.
Keel, Shannondor, Schmidt,
Yes.
Huvestal,
Yes.
Burris,
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes. Now we'll discuss Sarah Bitts. Dr. Bitts.
Correct. Sarah is a 5th grade teacher at Lewis and Clark, and she is leaving us to go to Bismarck. Great teacher, wish her well. When a teacher does that, leaves us to go to Bismarck, we usually do excess liquidated damages. She has submitted a check. She's fully expecting that. Bismarck released 2 teachers to come to us this year, and they fined them as well. So it's our recommendation to thank her for her service, accept her resignation, and accept liquidated damages would be our recommendation.
Any questions?
Maybe you could explain why, how, like what that means. 'Cause
Liquidated
it
damages,
feels a little bit harsh. Like,
it does.
why are you for leaving us?
Liquidated damages is a penalty for breaking a signed contract. When we have a signed contract with a teacher, they're signing their name, saying, I will be here, I'll teach for you next year. And then we quit hiring and we wait. Anytime you sign your name to a contract, whether you're buying a house, whether you're selling grain, and you break a contract, there usually is a penalty that goes along with it. In the education world, we call that liquidated damages. You're paying to get out of your contract. Our policy says that it's the board's option whether you accept that liquidated damages or don't. Mandan's unique in that we have a 3-member committee that makes a full recommendation to the board, and you can take our recommendation, Mr. Peters, Chelsea Bittner, who's a representative from the teachers union, and I usually discuss these. We try to be consistent and say, what have we done in the past in a situation like this? And our recommendation here is to thank her for her service, accept her resignation, and assess the penalty for breaking a contract.
Thank you for that explanation. Good reminder, and then hopefully helpful to others who haven't heard that before.
The other side of the coin is we don't have to release her from her contract, which isn't what she wants either.
Correct.
I mean, so she gets the benefit of it because she's getting released from her contract based on if that's the decision we make here tonight. So,
Correct.
Past practice wise, how do you decide liquidating damages? Is it just when they go to another teaching job, or how do you guys decide that?
Well, for the most part, I think our practice has been, and it may change, we'll have a new chair of the Policy and Personnel Committee, and we could do it. But generally, If your spouse is leaving the area and you're moving to Little Rock, Arkansas or Denver, Colorado, and you're going to be with your spouse, we don't penalize people for that. We want to keep families together, and we don't penalize people for that. When you're leaving education, like Mr. Ullman, and he's leaving to take a job in the private sector, we don't have any recourse. If they break a contract, we can report them to the teacher licensing board, and they potentially will lose their license. They can take action because it's unethical to sign a contract and then not fulfill it. But when they're leaving education, there's no recourse. They don't need their license. Generally, the only time we've ever enforced it is when you're sleeping in your same bed and crossing the river to take another job. That's been our practice, and right or wrong, it's been our practice.
Thank you.
And it seems to have worked well over my term sitting on the board anyway in relation to it and where we are. Most teachers are kind of understanding on that. They know that's kind of where it's at. And then the union seems to be okay with that too in regard to it.
Correct. And I will say that we've kind of have a gentleman's agreement now with Bismarck that we won't even interview someone that's under contract with another school without calling and okaying it. It's one of those things where contracts should mean something once you sign it, and but at the same time, we understand that opportunities only come up at certain times, and I think we have a good working relationship with Bismarck, and I always tell our staff, communicate with us, share things, don't surprise us, and we'll work with you to make it happen.
And from my point, you got to have something in place, otherwise you have chaos. I mean, all of a sudden the day before you're ready to start teaching for the year and a teacher wants to get out of their contract, that just doesn't work. So you got to have something in place in regard to this, and this seems to work.
It is, our pools used to be real deep. It used to be that when we hired an elementary teacher, you'd have 100 people in the pool, and if you didn't like the first 5, you still had 95 good candidates to choose from. Right now, that isn't the case. Our pools are getting pretty thin, and it's getting real hard to hire. And the later you get in the summer, it gets even harder. If you look at the item right below this, the 2 fifth grade teachers that left I encourage the principals to not wait around and to hire, just because time is not our friend at this time of year.
Any further questions? What are the wishes of the board?
I will move to accept Sarah Bitz's resignation and also assess the liquidated damages.
All right, we have a motion.
Thank her for her service. Thank you.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? I guess I need a second. All right, now we have a motion and discussion. A motion and a second. Any further discussion? Please call roll.
Burris?
Yes.
Horn?
Yes.
Peters?
Yes.
Peel? Yes. Schmidt?
Yes.
Huvestal?
Yes.
Shenandoah? Yes. Wolf?
Yes. Move on to the next item, review and consider approval of 24-25 teaching contracts. Eldon Crow, construction trades at Mandan High School, Lexi Dirk, 5th grade at Lakewood, and Kelsey Schmidt, 5th grade at Lewis and Clark. And as you're explaining this, Dr. Bitts, Crow was a teacher here before, but he's on the list here. So
Correct.
Explain why so we all kind of know.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Crow is our construction trades teacher. He resigned, and you accepted his resignation a few, I don't know, months ago or a few weeks ago. I'm not sure. It was a while back, and he kept saying, "I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave." And we kept having conversations with him. He's a great teacher. He does a great job with our kids. Really excited to get him back. He's in Germany right now, but he came in and he agreed to come back one more year. Excited to have him back. There is no request to hire. We've had it open and we had no applicants. So really excited to have him back on staff, and it would be our recommendation to hire him and then Lexi Dirk and Kelsey Schmidt to fill the 2 fifth grade openings.
All right. Thank you. Any further discussions, questions?
So will it be full for teachers?
Yes, we are full right now for teachers. Last week, we literally, when we got done with our meeting, I stepped up and I had a text from Mike Allman saying, "I'm going to email you a letter of resignation." It's like, no. So I haven't checked my phone, but as of right now, we are full.
Dr. Bitts, you cannot check your phone tonight. All right, any further discussion, questions? What are the wishes of the board?
I'd make the motion to approve the teaching contracts for Eldon Crow, Lexi Dirk, and Kelsey Schmidt, and welcome them to the school district.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Next item on the agenda is review and consider approval of 24-25 handbooks. A lot of pages in the agenda for that tonight. The classified staff, the teacher, the elementary school, the middle school, the high school, the Brave Center Academy, and the Mandan Virtual Academy. Dr. Rederath.
Yeah, I'll kind of hit the high points on some of them, and then if there's questions. Tyler Steinwan, our HR director, did a nice job of summarizing in an email the classifieds handbook changes. You'll see those on page 8, just added some further information and clarification on absences due to workplace injury, and it added a citation. On page 12, section 31, added clarification regarding change in daily work hours and a correlation to personal leave balance. Page 16 added sentences surrounding excessive missed punches. And then also on pages 17 through 19, updated the lane and step scale. You'll notice at the beginning of these handbooks, we do still need to update the directory information in them. So if there's any questions on that one, pretty straightforward. Do we want to do these in separate motions or all in one?
Let's do it all in one.
Okay. You'll notice that the teacher handbook is not part of the packet. We did not make any changes this year. If you remember for previous board meetings, we have the teacher handbook all on Canvas. And so for anybody who's interested in walking through it, I can definitely show it to you. We've really taken the approach of the teacher handbook of really making it a resource guide for teachers, places that they can go find resources both instructionally and on policy, but it's very reflective of the classified handbook in a lot of ways, and some of the policy references, but then has some nice resources. So we have not made any changes to that this year, but at any point in time, if someone would like to take a look at that, I would be happy to sit down and walk you through it. Really, the only major, substantial change in the elementary handbook was they changed from phones on page 14 to devices. And the reason for that, if you're familiar with Gizmo watches and things like that, we were getting a lot of those at the elementary level, some smart watches that they were having some issues with some of the younger students. So they wanted to update the handbook to include devices instead of just phones. And then,
Dr. Ritter?
Yes.
Didn't mean to interrupt you
No,
here,
you're
but
fine.
I just happened to notice, and I didn't catch this earlier when I was reading through it, but on page 3, I think I'm in the elementary one, you still have Tracy Klein listed on all the contacts in there in relation to it, so he needs to be updated on all the ones that are out there.
I will say the directory information on all the pages was not updated. We send that out and each building does their own, because I think Mr. Bardell is still listed in Lewis and Clark, and so they'll update their staff, and they will wait to do that till the way in because there may be another new hire or two before then.
Okay, I was thinking this probably wasn't a directory one, but, all right, thank you.
Yep. And then as you look through the middle school one, there's a few changes, but probably the most substantial one you notice is they instituted end of the year awards ceremony this last year, and they wanted to outline that in the handbook so that parents understood what those awards were and how they were, their students were able to get those. So that was the most substantial change to the middle school one. A few smaller ones here or there, but that would be the big one you see. And then with the high school handbook, a lot of the changes in that are reflecting the new building, just different language when you're talking a different physical setup of the building. We needed to update some things with that. And then some other minor, not so changes with cheating policy. There was a little more leniency for teacher discretion on if they get a 0 or if they're allowed to redo the project. A few changes like that, a little more leniency on hats, allowing them in classrooms per teacher discretion, which is something that's always a hot topic. I'm often asked this. Bismarck Public Schools does allow hats in their high schools. We have not historically, so this is a little bit of the middle ground on that. But most of the changes within the handbook are just reflective of the new building. And then with our Brave Center Academy and Virtual Academy, really minor changes, updated some of the cheating and plagiarism pieces, and also really highlighted when those students are eligible for school activities, really wanting to make sure that we're engaging all of our students in those opportunities. So got a little more explicit with that in the handbook. I know it's a lot of pages and a lot of information. Are there any questions?
Anybody have any questions?
I'll just comment, the page, I think you said 81, the hats. I don't agree with that. When the way I read it, it's up to each teacher. So we're going to make the teachers the bad guys. And so I don't agree with that. I just think it should stay no hats. But that's
Mr. President, may that is something that Mr. Andreessen left to his teachers to decide on the hats, and that's the ground they fell on. I kind of agree with you. To me, it's hard when it's discretion of the teacher, because I might say sure, and Dr. Bitts might say no way, and we got to fight on our hands. But Mr. Andreessen did solicit feedback from his department chairs and from his teachers, and that's where they fell on the middle ground of it.
I would just say that I don't see a reason for hats in school at all or in the building. So.
All right, any other questions? Anybody else have any other comments? I was looking here because I did have one and I can't find it.
Sure.
It was about dances.
If you do find a mistake or a typo or anything, even if it's after this meeting, we can change it. We don't have to live with it for a year. So if it's substantial, we'd bring it back to you. But if it's...
Go ahead.
The tobacco, any of the tobacco vape products, do you still have one for nicotine products, chew, that kind of thing? I guess I didn't see it when I went through it first.
We consider that all the same. So we consider it the same. It's illegal for them to have anyway, so yeah.
I don't know if we have to say
We can mention it, I guess.
just that, and I don't know how they refer to that now, because it's not, the Zins is like the vape of chewing.
I'm thinking if we would do some sort of language of any illegal tobacco product, for anybody under 18, nicotine product.
Just something to be aware of.
Yeah, we can do a more general statement, so otherwise sometimes those lists unfortunately continue to grow and grow.
Okay, my question is on page 23. It talks about the homecoming dance and a snowball dancer. And the snowball dance, the last sentence, to attend students must meet the school dance expectation, which is not in the homecoming dance one. And then down below you got school dance expectations. And the way I would read that, you don't have to follow the school dance expectations for homecoming, but you do for the snowball. Is that right?
I saw the same thing this afternoon, and I think that's an error, that they should both be the same. So I'm going to talk with Mr. Andreessen when he's back from Nashville and correct that on the homecoming one, because you should not be eligible for the homecoming dance for the same reasons of snowball.
Yeah, I think our dances would be consistent between the two. It's,
Yep.
to me, you can just take the last sentence off the snowball dance,
Yep.
and you'd have it because you got it under the snowball
Yep.
or the school dance expectations.
Absolutely. I meant to mention that. I'm glad you caught that.
Any other questions?
I was just wondering, I can't find it in here. What is the school policy for kids with being homesick and then needing to go see a doctor? Like how many visits?
Are you talking about excused absences?
Yeah.
State law says a parent can excuse any absence. Is that what you're...
Well, I thought that in high school, they were like, after 5 excused sick times, they have to go see a doctor, get a doctor's note.
I think we can ask that. I don't think we generally.
We can't require it.
Yeah, a parent can excuse any absence. We're also mandatory reporters, so if we think it's excessive and there's too many absences and not enough documentation, we can report to social services. We don't want to do that. I mean, that's not something we like to do. Go ahead.
The one change that you'll see, I think it's on page 14 of the high school, is it says no students missing more than 20% of required class days per semester may be removed from a normal class and moved to an alternative setting. That includes medical. So if I miss 45% of the Algebra 1 class, but I'm saying I want to still be here, but I'm not there at all. We're saying we're going to move you to a virtual setting or some other setting. We'll still work with you to get the credit, but it's not a reasonable expectation to keep up with an in-person class if you can't physically be there. So that was a change on that front. So we'll still work with students to get their credits, but giving us a little more flexibility of if things are becoming just too impeding for them to be successful in that face-to-face setting. And you might lose some test exemption at the high school after so many absences. I mean, that's a piece, but a parent has the right to excuse their child anytime.
Yeah, I was going to say, going along that line, if a kid is perfect attendance and is out for 10 days sick, we're probably not going to worry about that at all because this is out of character. And if mom and dad say he's sick, he hasn't missed a day in 2 years, we believe he's sick. If every day parent calls him in sick for 4 days, eventually you kind of get to the point where you kind of question things. So,
Any other questions?
On page 42 of the elementary, the attendance policy, it does state, where did it go now? When a student is ill after 3 consecutive parental requests, the student may need a note from a doctor. Is that what you're kind of talking about, Amy?
Well, I just remember in high school, I thought somebody said five sick days, but that didn't have to be consecutive, so you could be sick 3 days and then 2 months later be sick 1 day and then another. But that's how I was informed by somebody, so I was just curious if that was how it was.
I don't believe that's the case. And we put may in there. It just gives us a little bit of, we can question it if we think there's something fishy. And we, go ahead.
I would say part of the reason we do that too is at the elementary level, a kindergartner is obviously very dependent on mom and dad to get them to school. And so if we're seeing excessive absences and stuff, we just that little more of accountability or working with parents on that where 16-year-old, when they hit high school, a lot of that accountability shifts to the students. So that's part of why you see that after 3 days at the elementary level, just wanting a little more contact with the parent earlier on with our young ones.
We very seldom ask for notes, but we may. It just gives it's another tool for our principals. We need to we're charged with getting kids to school and making sure they get an education. And almost all of our parents are great, but sometimes parents excuse their kids probably more than they should.
All right. Any further questions? All right. What are the wishes of the board?
I would move to approve the 2024-25 handbooks.
All right. We have a motion. We have a second?
Second.
We have a second. Any further discussion? Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing them, please call roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Next item on the agenda is the tour. I'll come back to that in a second. Future meeting dates, August 5th, regular school board, 5:30 p.m. City Hall. August 19th, regular school board, 5:30 p.m. City Hall. August 19th, annual retreat, 6 p.m. at City Hall. August 26th, facilities and finance, 5:30 p.m. at the Brave Center. September 3rd, regular school board, 7 p.m. at City Hall. September 16th, regular school board, 5:30 p.m. City Hall. September 16th is the budget hearing, 6:15 p.m. City Hall. We got to go through the budget hearing for mill levy and those type of things. So that'll be on that one there. Any other meeting dates that anybody wants to bring up here in regard to this? There's no CTE one on there coming up?
July 29th at 5:30 at the Brave Center.
Okay.
We'll also offer a Zoom option for it too, since we have all of our outlying schools as well.
I just figured you had one coming up.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? If not, we're going to go tour the new high school to view the construction in regard to it. So we're going to recess this. We'll go back in up there in regard to it. What doors? Where are we going to meet up there?
We're going to go in the southeast door. It's the academic wing that looks like it has wood trim kind of surrounding the door. That's where we'll meet. I will be there to open that door for you.
All right, so we'll meet up there. So when you get up there, drive safely on the way up there in regard to we'll meet up there. And once that's done, we'll adjourn the meeting at that point in time. Any questions? If not, thanks everybody. We'll see you up there.